Okay, so when it comes to the monster taming genre, a lot of people, and I'm assuming many of the newcomers to the channel through the recent release of Temtem, might not be privy to many of the games within it outside of the most well-known ones, such as Pokemon, Digimon, Monster Rancher, Temtem, etc. Many of these games have at one point or another had a lot of widespread appeal, but I'm here to tell you that there are other games in the genre, and your journey doesn't just have to end with one of them. This video is specifically fashioned towards Temtem players, and mostly those whom have not been following my channel for very long, since for those that have, many of these games I'm going to mention will be those in which you've seen. Sometimes when I do videos like this that are specifically catered to newcomers, I'll have some longtime fans of the channel state that the video was redundant or unnecessary as they knew all of the games present, and let me just say that that's the beauty of this channel. I upload like 12 to 14 times a week. We've got content for every type of monster taming fan, from those who want guides and breakdowns about specific games or topics. We've got news videos which appeal to anyone, videos exploring hidden obscure monster taming games, let's play videos, and of course videos targeted towards newcomers. These types of videos are very important in taking those that have taken their first steps into the realm of monster taming and exposing them to a wide array of experiences that are similar to the games that they've played. This is how we grow the genre and take it to the next level, because without videos like these, a lot of people might play, let's say, Temtem and not know about the other games that'll be mentioned here, despite me having talked about them at great length in the past. Anyways, all of this being said, this is basically just a long-winded way of me saying we're going to be looking at some games that I think Temtem fans should check out. So don't forget to sit back, relax, subscribe, and let's dive in. Okay, so the way I look at it, there are a few major components to Temtem that draw an audience to it. These include the fact that it's a Pokemon-like experience, it's 3D because that matters to a lot of people, there's the fact that it's an MMO, and finally the competitive element to the game that differentiates it from something like Pokemon. I'll be mostly focusing on the first 3 points, and the fourth would be much better analyzed by a more competitive player, but by using these 3 major pillars, I've put together a list of games that fall under at least one, or in some cases, all 3 subsects. I'm going to format this differently than my normal list-styled videos just to make it more digestible for veterans of the genre as well, since some of these games, as mentioned previously, have been delineated on extensively on my channel. Anyways, I'm gonna get these 2 games out of the way right off the bat because I'm sure a lot of you are probably tired of hearing about them so much in these types of videos, but in truth, there's a reason they come up so often. I am of course talking about Nexomon, Extinction, and Coromon, 2 of the best Pokemon-like RPGs in the entire genre, but notably only cover that aspect as far as Temtem is concerned, since both games are single-player adventures in 2D. Nexomon Extinction features an awesome 40-hour story campaign where you travel the world, defeating tyrants and meeting a slew of interesting characters along the way, with albeit a rather simplistic battle system, while Coromon features a little more nuance in its system, some downright amazing pixel art reminiscent of both the 3rd and 5th generation of Pokemon, and a fun story of its own. It also has PvP, and both games do include Nuzlocke and randomization settings as well. These 2 games are absolute must-buys for anyone who wants a Pokemon-like experience, hands down. I'll leave the review videos I've made for both games in the description for you to check out when you're done here. You will not regret it. Another duo of games that play similarly in many ways to Temtem, although they do play in a singles format, much like the previously mentioned, include Lumion Legacy, a monster taming Pokemon-like RPG that also plays like an MMO, with you having the ability to see various characters in the overworld and participate in various timed events. In this game, you must travel the world taking on the various battle theaters and collecting these weird rock things and stopping some sort of corruption from taking over. Doodle World is very similar, though it features its own unique doodle aesthetic and mechanics, but ultimately both of these games are essentially 3D Pokemon-like MMOs, which fill all the major pillars in comparison to Temtem. Something else to note is that these games are free to play because they exist on the Roblox engine, which before you immediately write them off for that, I will say that I was really skeptical of playing anything on Roblox until I actually gave these games a chance, and I've got to say they're a lot of fun, and I prefer them to many of the non-Roblox monster taming games in the genre. A title that isn't super like Pokemon, but in the same realm and also does feature pretty nice 3D graphics is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, a story-driven monster taming RPG where you can battle and collect various Digimon in cyberspace. If you're someone who likes a lot of dialogue, just like Temtem has, and a fun and interesting campaign, this one might be something for you to check out. If you were a fan of Temtem for its competitive scene, whether it be because you like PvP or perhaps you're someone who wants a more strategic battle system than something like Pokemon, a few games fall under this category while not being very much like Temtem otherwise. This includes Monster Sanctuary, a Metroidvania monster monster taming game with 3-on-3 combat and a completely unique battle system, not even reminiscent of Pokemon whatsoever. It also does feature PvP and a free DLC included. Siralim Ultimate is another game very different from Temtem, but features a strategic and complex battle system where you take on enemies in 6-on-6 combat. In this game, you have 1,200 monsters to choose from and a near endless roster of fusion combinations. So again, not very Temtem-esque, but if you're looking for a challenge, this game will definitely give you that. If you want that more complex combat and also a focus on story with some really fun overworld and in-battle mechanics, you can also try Shin Megami Tensei 5, a monster taming RPG where you take control of various demons and fight alongside them in battle. Again, not very close to Temtem in terms of mechanics or theme, but it is a 3D story-driven monster taming RPG with a more complex combat system than something like Pokemon or even Temtem itself. Whichever way you slice it, there are a ton of experiences outside of Pokemon that make the monster taming genre what it is, and whether Temtem is your first venture into monster taming as a niche or your fifth, I hope that you can appreciate the genre for what it is and continue to explore new experiences. These were just a fraction of the games in the genre, and it's my job to expose you to more and more each day. We've also got some upcoming games that I think Temtem fans might want to pay close attention to, like Cassette Beasts, a very unique monster taming RPG with double battles. We've got Trails of Sunder, an Elder Scrolls and Pokemon-inspired RPG with doubles, and a heck of a lot more. You've already got one arm in the rabbit hole after watching this video and by playing Temtem, so if you're looking for some sort of navigation tool to aid you in your monster taming quest, definitely subscribe to my channel because this is my niche, this is what I do. I upload new monster taming videos every single day. You can also check out my Twitter, my Discord, and my Patreon, all links below. Special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Drogos, Dark Persona, and Exodus, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.